Good morning and happy Friday and welcome to the show, and thanks for sticking with us on Waking Up with Don at our new time of 6:30 a.m. It's summertime and the kids are going to be home, maybe driving you crazy, maybe having some family time, who the heck knows. But we've got Denise Clubs here, who is a licensed family and marriage therapist, who's going to tell us how to keep our kids occupied and how to keep them constructively busy and how to parent well over this summer vacation.
That's exactly right.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
So tell me, we have this argument in our house. Not an argument, but always this constant friction of how a mother parents and a father parents. We do it quite differently, don't we?
Oh, yes. And at our home, too. I am not only wearing the hat as marriage and family therapist, but I'm also wearing the hat as a mom and a wife. And my children are 24 and 20. And when my son was about 5 years old, I was able to find this wonderful book called 1, 2, 3 Magic by Thomas Phelan. And it helped me, the difference being my husband would be able to say something to my children and they would automatically listen, as to where I would say it and they would like waffle, wouldn't get the attention that needed to be done. And I have that in my office all the time, where parents come, why are they listening to Dad? And there's also another common comment that is made a lot of times. Well, he's being too mean. Dad's being too mean. What tends to happen, women have more connective tissue from the left side of the brain to the right side of the brain.
Oh, interesting.
So the right side is the feeling-oriented side. And because women have that, one of the hypotheses is that women tend to go into the feeling more, and we parent from the feeling. So this book helps parents, and it helped me tremendously when my children were younger, to not get into the feeling. And what tends to happen is dads say it, and the kids kind of know that they mean business, where the moms will say it, and they test the moms, because kids have a sense of being able to pick up.
Denise, do you find that women probably talk more to the children than the dads do? So to the kids, it's almost like white noise. I'm thinking, oh, it's just her talking again. But when Dad talks, he means business, because he doesn't use that many words.
Well, yes, that's exactly right. And what ends up happening is, it's kind of like you were saying with the white noise. The female, we actually look at our children a lot of times as little adults.
Right.
Little adults, they're not able to reason, they're not able to rationalize. So as a parent, we say, I'd like for you to go to your room now and do your homework. And we hope miraculously that that's going to happen.
And so you're trying to build a dialogue with this child, who really kind of needs more guidance in that, a little more direction, like, hey, do your homework or else.
That's exactly. And if you've got two parents working in the home, if you have a single mom, what tends to happen is they're tired at the end of the day. Okay, now you're going to have children home throughout the summer, and it's important from a summer standpoint that they have to have structure. It's very important to have structure, and parents need to be consistent.
So you got to have a routine and consistency. That's key.
Correct.
We have to run off to local weather. I find this really fascinating. We'll talk more about parenting techniques on the other side of this break. And your local weather brought to you by the West Pittman Law Firm, westpittmanlawfirm.com. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Denise Clubs, who's a licensed family therapist, who's going to tell us a little bit more about parenting techniques. I noticed this book that you have is called 1, 2, 3 Magic.
Yes.
And off camera, I kind of shared with you, I didn't read this book, by the way.
Right.
But I used to do it with my son when he was little.
Yes.
Don't make me count. If I get the 3, you're going to get spanked. And I would go 1, 2, and I think I might have swatted him once.
Right.
But when I said I was going to count, he'd go, oh, no, don't count. Please don't count. Don't count.
See?
And I go 1, and he'd do it.
You were already using the 1, 2, 3. This is the manual for parents. We don't get the manual when our babies are born. But this is the manual from 2 to 12. There's another one that Thomas Phelan has written, and I'll come back and share about the adolescents.
So I was doing an effective discipline technique without even knowing it.
You were. Let me share
without reading the book.
It helps to take and I utilized this. I found this book when my son was 5. You basically, you want them to stop a behavior, whining, complaining, I want this, I want that, I'm hungry. That's 1.
We used to call it puling in my house.
Puling.
Stop puling. Or stop whinging. That was another. Yeah, and kids can do that. Yeah.
And within 20 seconds, you say the behavior. That's 1. And you as a parent, you want to say it very calmly. That's one. That if within 20 seconds they're still doing it, that's two. That's two, Mary, you're whining. Okay, that's it. You don't go into any other kind of discussion. And then within 20 seconds more, if they're still doing it, that's three. I need for you to take 5 to your room now. And normally it's the amount of time to their room or to a sitting place, wherever you choose that timeout to be.
So it's a count of 3 to a timeout.
Correct.
See, for me at least, just being the way I was raised, there was a thinly veiled threat of violence at the end of 3. That never really came, but I mean, that was there. But you don't have to do it. You don't have to say, hey, I'm going to hit you or spank you. No. You can say, hey, I get to 3. You're out of here, pal. You're timeout.
You know what the timeout does? It interrupts what they're doing. They want to be around the folks. They want to be around the family. They want to do what they're wanting to do. And it helps you to take them and remove them for just a short period of time. Whatever their age is the amount of time they're in timeout. When the timeout's up, you go in and say, your timeout's up. If a child says, I'm not coming out, you just say, okay, that's fine. They can decide. You don't want to involve in a dialogue of any kind of...
No negotiation. Once you get to 3, that's
you're done. Your timeout's done. You come when you want to.
All right. Well, does it work for women, though? I mean, because guys have that authoritarian voice. I mean, even my dog listens to me, you know, where not so much the wife, you know. So
this is what's so helpful for women. Because it takes the emotion out of parenting. It gives them a protocol. And the book goes into more detail in terms of, well, what if they don't go? What are you supposed to do? You know, there are other examples of ways to do it, and it's very simple. They catch on quick. 50% of the kids will catch on, just like you were saying. Your son goes, no, 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 not the counting, not the counting. And I've had lots of feedback from parents that go, within a week, they were doing it.
Now, what about summertime activities? We talked about, you know, we only got a minute left, but what about that structure and routine that you talked about? You know, how do you do that over summer vacation?
Well, you know, John Roseman gave us a discussion about, was here many, many years ago. He said when he was growing up, his parents said, go out and play, and rang the bell for lunch, came in, went out to play again after lunch, rang the bell for dinner, and then it was done. Because our society is so different now, what ends up happening is we do need to find activities, whether it be swimming lessons or some other kind of camps.
Summer camps or things like
girls club, boys club, have wonderful
constructively
activities.
busy. I remember as a kid just going out and riding my bike all day long. And come home before the street lights come on. That was the rule.
Oh, that's a great rule.
Street lights are on, you were late.
Yes, yes.
Well, thank you so much for sharing this with us,
you're
Denise
welcome.
Clubs. And 1, 2, 3 Magic, great book by Thomas Phelan, PhD, Effective Disciplines for Children 2 to 12.
Yes.
Thank you again.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to the show. In the studio right now, I have Lana Pate from Metabolic Research Center. And Lana, what is this gross thing that I'm looking at here?
Don, that is a pound of fat.
Ugh, a pound of fat? Where would that go on me? I wonder. Actually, probably midsection for guys, right?
Yeah. Ladies, it's different.
Yeah, probably wind up on some lady's thigh somewhere. But that's 1 pound of fat.
That's 1 pound of fat, yes.
And that, how do you avoid that?
Well, a diet high in protein can help you get rid of your fat.
So if you eat a lot of protein, it'll help you burn fat.
Correct.
Now, we talk about 1 pound, like, oh, how gross it is. But most people have more than 1 pound.
Right,
Some people tote around as much as, wait for it,
wait for
5 pounds of fat.
Now the visual there is powerful.
It's powerfully disturbing. Yes. That is 5 pounds of fat right there. And compared to this little 1 pound,
I know.
You know, okay, so that's like 6 pounds of fat right there.
6 pounds of fat.
And I gotta tell you, Lana, it's 5 pounds, but look at the volume of this.
It's massive. Yes.
And it actually feels heavier, but
fat weighs more than muscle, right? And one of the ways that we can lose the fat and protect our muscle is a diet high in protein. The protein is going to help support our muscle mass and protect it while we're losing the fat. Because a good protein can't be stored in our fat. But you've got sugars and carbs and other, say, saturated fats that can be stored. It can be stored in this, and the more you eat, it will turn into this.
So if I'm eating like fried chicken, potato chips, and things like that, that we all kind of love, you're feeding this thing.
You're feeding this right here, and it'll keep growing. But high in protein, say females anywhere from 19 to say 70 years of age, a good amount of protein to have daily is about 46 grams. And so to kind of help you calculate, 3 ounces of a chicken breast is about 21 grams of protein.
Okay.
So with every meal, try to strive for at least 3 ounces of protein.
At least 3 ounces of protein.
3 ounces.
I had heard someone told me once a good rule of thumb is like a fist-sized portion of protein.
Yep, that's a great rule of thumb. And good sources of protein are going to be, say, for breakfast, like eggs and yogurt, cheese. For lunch and for dinner, meat, poultry, fish, legumes, and any sort of beans, and tofu, for those vegetarians out there that,
Heather's got me eating Greek yogurt now.
Oh, it is all, yes.
Yes,
it is.
and my wife was telling me about it, and of course you never listen to your wife, but a stranger comes along.
You didn't just say that.
And says, oh, you should eat that Greek yogurt. And Karen's been buying it for a while.
Yeah.
It's actually good. It took me a while to get used to it because regular yogurt, you're just kind of used to it. It's a little thicker, different consistency at all, but it's really filling.
It is, and you can really jazz it up. If you take the fat-free plain Greek yogurt, put some vanilla extract in there with some Splenda and maybe some fresh, like a handful of fresh berries, mix it up, and you've made your own little fruit yogurt parfait, half the calories, extra protein, and of course half the fat.
Yikes. Yeah,
I know.
Can you really get rid of it? How long does it take to lose something like this? I mean, 5 pounds of fat, that's a substantial amount, it looks like.
I'm so glad you asked. Today, I was in the office, and one of our clients came in. She's been on program for 8 days, and she has lost 5 pounds.
5 pounds. She lost this.
She lost that in 8 days.
In 8 days.
So when we, were excited when she got on the scale and saw that she had lost that, she was excited, but then when I actually showed her the visual, then her eyes lit up, and wow, if I keep this going, I could lose, anywhere from 3 to 5 pounds per week. So
you stand on the scale, and it's just kind of almost an arbitrary number, But when you see this, and when you start seeing the physical differences, in your body after a while, that 5 pounds might not be that big of a physical difference in some people.
Right.
Especially if you're really overweight, 5, big deal,
Right.
But when you see this,
it
becomes more meaningful.
It does, and that is the ultimate motivator, right? When you get on that scale and you see that you've lost 5 pounds, and then you see this, I mean, keep going.
And then you start seeing differences in your body after a while. You lose a few of these things.
You're losing pant sizes.
Exactly right. You're getting into those old jeans.
You're getting the old jeans. That summer dress is looking better. The shirts are able to button a little bit better on the guys.
That's
the pants. So.
That's amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so protein helps you maintain and burn fat.
It also helps with energy. It can help with hunger and cravings. For me, say if I'm about to go on a long run, I'll have 2 of our low-calorie, high-protein drinks, and that helps me fuel me through my run. So it gives you, like I said earlier, it's going to give you that
little carbs, but
you do need some carbs, but good.
You can't go overboard.
Right. But a diet in healthy, lean proteins, vegetables, and low-calorie carbs, you're good to go.
Lana Pate from Metabolic Research Center, thank you so much for chewing the fat with me for a few minutes here on Waking Up With Don.
You're so welcome.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. It's Friday, and we've got Jennifer Vigil from 850-LIVE to tell us what's going on around town this weekend.
Live 850.
Did I say that backwards again? I never get it right, but I use it every weekend.
I know. It's okay, as long as you use it and tell people about it.
Yeah, even if I say it wrong.
Just show them on your phone.
I will. I'll do that. I'll try to keep the talking down to a minimum of just say, here it is.
There's a lot. Tonight is Friday Fest, so everyone to downtown Panama City tonight for Friday Fest. Downtown Improvement Board has a lot going on this week. On Wednesday, they're going to have Music Matters down there. That was great this week. It's just getting bigger and bigger every week. And Music Matters there's live music at the Colonial Restaurant, The Place, Trigo, Millie's, and Ferrucci's. So I made a round this weekend. And
all really good restaurants, too.
All great restaurants, and it was great music this week. And they encourage originals. So you're not maybe going to see cover bands that you would normally see. They encourage a lot of original stuff, so that's great. Crook Stewart, that does Ghetto Palace, supports that one. The other thing on Saturday is the Fish Ale Restaurant on Panama City Beach is hosting the first annual Panama City Beach Beer Festival. That goes
Festival.
Beer Festival.
I like Fish Ales. I've been there a few times for different functions. They got a great back room and all that stuff, and they have a wide selection of beers there.
They have a ton of microbrews and stuff like that. So it's good if you want to try something new.
A beer fest.
Beer Fest.
Sign me up.
They're going to go. The other big one this weekend that I think a lot of people will go to will be the Bay Coastal Living Fair over at the fairgrounds. And that'll be great.
What's that all about?
It's sponsored by the Estate Treasures and Coastal Cottage Emporium. And it's kind of one of those things that shows you different types of, kind of like your set here, different types of coastal living themed furniture and decorations and things like that.
Yeah, like my beautiful faux hand furniture set that I have here.
Exactly, it's really nice stuff. So it'll be good, and they're having different events, and there's going to be a bake sale that benefits the Anchorage Children's Home. So you'll get to see a lot of cool stuff, and if you buy some baked goods, you'll be supporting the Anchorage Children's Home. What else do we have?
Oh, what are you going to do this weekend?
My daughter is graduating.
Oh, what's her name?
Madison Clifton.
Madison, congratulations on your graduation.
She graduated on Thursday, so tonight we actually have her graduation party. So I will be missing all the public events for our graduation party, but we're really proud. The other thing, if you're going out, is
we'll send you pictures of the events.
We will. If you send pictures on Instagram, do hashtag Live850 because then it goes straight to the app and it shares it with all the other 850 users.
Hashtag Live850 to your Instagram pictures, and it'll come right up on this thing,
Absolutely.
and other people can see what's going on at those different events.
Well,
if there's a good crowd there or whatever.
Yeah.
This is like fun in real time.
Fun in real time.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. And downtown Panama City tonight is the Friday Fest, Wednesday's Music Matters, Thursday is Hogs and Grogs. So there's something downtown every single weekend. This past weekend I went to Dave & Buster's and listened to Jay Smith play outside. Absolutely great. He's a wonderful musician, and we had so much fun at Dave & Buster's. So that was awesome.
That's a cool
and he
place.
plays there Saturdays and Sundays. So that's pretty cool.
A lot of going on this weekend, and thank you so much for sharing all that with us. And if you don't have Live850, get it.
Download it.
Google
Play and iTunes.
And it's free. And congratulations to your family on your recent graduation.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back after these messages and then the musical stylings of James Johnson. Welcome back to the show. We have James Johnson here in the studio who's going to play one of my old favorites, Leave On.
Levon wears his war wound like a crown. He calls his child Jesus because he likes the name, and he sends him to the finest school in town. Levon likes his money. He makes a lot, they say. Spends his days counting in a garage by the motorway. He was born a pauper to a pawn on a Christmas day when the New York Times said God is dead and the war's begun. Alvin Tostick has a son today. And he shall believe on, and he shall be a good man, and he shall believe on, with tradition, with the family plan, woo! And he shall believe on, and he shall be a good man. He shall believe on. Levon wears cartoon balloons in town. His family business thrives, and Jesus blows up balloons all day. Sits on the porch swing watching them fly. And Jesus, he wants to go to Venus and leave leave on far behind. Take a balloon and go sailing while leave on slowly dies. He was born a pauper to a pawn on a Christmas day when the New York Times said God is dead and the war's begun. Fantastic has a son today, and he shall believe on, and he shall be a good man, and he shall believe on with tradition, with the family plan, and he shall believe on, and he shall be a good man. He shall believe on.